All right, y'all. Welcome into another episode on the YouTube channel and also another episode of the Fit CEO podcast by Chad Molyneux. I hope you guys are doing absolutely incredible. Let me go. Hold on. Let me just raise the desk a little bit. All right, we are good to go. All right, I am on a time crunch. I got one of our mastery calls coming up, and I have a very special topic for you guys today. What we're going to be talking about is, and I'll just say it right now, there's a recession coming, and that may terrify you. It fucking terrifies me. That might give you anxiety. It gives me anxiety too, but it's coming. There's nothing we can do about it. It's out of our control. So what is in our control? That's what I'm going to be talking about today. I believe the stock market was down 1,000 points last week. I believe Bitcoin went down from, oh God, where did it go down? It went. Let's actually look really quick. I'm just generally curious how much Bitcoin went down. So Bitcoin over the past month has gone from 43,000 down to 29,000. So that's fucking insane. Stock market was down 1,000%, 1,000 points, and then interest rates, they're going up as well. So the recession is imminent. Whether that happens in 6 months, whether it happens in 12 months, whether it happens in 18 months, it's going to happen in the next, I would say, at least 24 months. It's going to happen, and the signs are already pointing in that direction. And like I said, I don't want this to be a doomsday video. I don't want this to be a doomsday podcast. I actually think this is going to be one of my more positive podcasts because I fucking love a good recession. And here's why. I'm going to tell you guys a quick story. NLCA, the Next Level Coaching Academy, that business started July 6, 2020. July 6 also happens to be my birthday. Yes, we did that on purpose. July 6, 2020. And as you guys know, there was some world turmoil. There also was some economic turmoil in 2020, right? Tons of people lost their jobs because of COVID, and then the government, the Fed, was forced to have to just pump all this cash, which is part of the reason why we're seeing inflation now, right? We've just been pumping all this cash, right? And there was some real economic turmoil during 2020, but NLCA thrived. And I'm not saying this to brag, but I'm saying this because I'm going to prove a point. But NLCA thrived in 2020. And to be honest, if it weren't for the things that I'm going to teach you in this podcast, in this video, I'm not sure that we would have had that result, because I had a complete mindset shift and perspective shift about world turmoil, about economic turmoil that a mentor gave me. That mentor so happens to be Grant Cardone. And I remember very specifically, I bought into, I forget what it was called. I bought into one of his support programs right at the time that COVID happened because I was absolutely terrified. I thought I was going to lose everything that I worked for. And he gave me some really valuable advice that I really believe started the momentum of NLCA. And in less than 2 years, we've already signed over 2,000 personal trainers, health coaches, nutrition coaches into NLCA in less than 2 years. And like I said, I attribute that momentum that has carried on since 2020 from those philosophies, from the things I'm about to teach you in today's video and in today's podcast. Okay. So the very first thing, there's going to be two things that we talk about here. We're going to talk about mindset, and we're going to talk about like application. So like things you should actually do during a recession from a business standpoint. But first, we have to talk about the mindset, right? Because everything starts with your mind. Here's how you should be viewing the looming recession. Here's how I viewed 2020 with all the economic turmoil that happened in 2020. I viewed it as a massive opportunity. And I get it. You're probably like, Chad, where the hell is the opportunity in a recession? Where the hell is the opportunity? Where was the opportunity during COVID? Here's what I mean. If you're in the business world, if you are an entrepreneur, recessions are where massive companies are made. meaning the big companies that we see now, they capitalized on many of recessions over the decades, and now are the massive companies that they are. And they crave and love a good recession because that's where they continue to grow while other businesses continue to phase out. Because what's going to happen here is economic turmoil is going to happen, recession is going to happen, and a lot of business owners are going to get wiped out. And the reason they're going to get wiped out is because they will go from being on the offensive to going on the defensive. They'll start saving money. They'll start not spending on marketing. They'll stop hiring. They'll stop sales. They'll stop pushing forward. They'll stop innovating. They'll stop improving their product, and they'll just sit back and they become reactionary. I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to hunker down. I'm going to wait this out. I'm going to wait until this blows over, and then we'll make our move. Wrong, terrible, terrible, terrible idea. Because while you're doing that, the hungry sharks, the smart entrepreneurs, the smart business owners are saying, I know that my competition right now is doing less. I know right now that my competition isn't spending money on marketing, isn't hiring, isn't growing, isn't innovating, isn't pushing forward on their product, isn't trying to sell people. They're not trying to be innovative. They're pulling back, which means that there is a massive opportunity, like I said, for the people that continue to choose to go on the offensive to take up a large portion of the pie. Because where do you think those clients are going to go when all of a sudden the programs that they're in are pulling back? They're pulling back and they're not continuing to innovate. They're going to go to the companies that are innovating. They're going to go to the companies that are continuing to grow because people want to be around other success. They don't want to be around things that are not going well. Nobody wants to be a part of a program that is failing, and not failing because of the situation, the economic turmoil, failing because the leader, the entrepreneur, is choosing to go on the defensive instead of the offensive. Huge, huge, huge opportunity. This is now the time. If you have ever currently said to yourself, oh man, I wish there was an opportunity where I could be bigger in the fitness space, where I can really grow. I wish there was an opportunity where I could really grow my presence in the online coaching space. It's during an economic recession. It's during world turmoil. Because once again, while everybody's pulling back and you choose to compete and you choose to push forward and you choose to be on the offensive, all of that hard work is going to allow you to take up a big portion of the pie because your competitors aren't doing the same thing. So that's the mindset. That's how you have to view this, right? Everything's a perspective, and that's the perspective that I am looking forward to when this recession happens. I'm literally looking forward to the recession because I know the second that it happens, right? It's already happening, but the second that it's like world news and the media starts talking about it and the media starts saying we're in a recession, that's the moment that I'm going to say, fuck, I got to put in double the effort. Okay. And this is the thing Grant Cardone told me, and then we'll get into application here. But Grant Cardone, what he said, what the exact quote was that really created the momentum for NLCA is you are going to have to put in 2 times the effort to get the same result. That was his words on that coaching call that I paid for. You are going to have to put in 2 times the effort to get the same result. And that massively motivated me because I'm extremely motivated by growth. I do not want to regress. So I said, fuck it. I'm going to put in double the effort. I'm going to make sure that we get the same result. I'm going to make sure that we get a better result. And I don't know if this was all just a mind fuck, meaning like he was saying it because he knew that actually if I put in double the effort, I would get more of a result. But in my mind, it worked really well. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to have to put in double the effort. And next thing I know, my business is growing and growing and growing and growing and has continued to grow with creating that momentum after that quote was said to me. So it's a very useful quote to continue to play, like I said, mind tricks on yourself, where you have to say, all right, I'm going to put in double the effort. You end up putting in double the effort and you end up getting more results. Okay. That's all the mindset stuff I wanted to talk about. You're going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Like I said, just accept it. It's looming. It's going to happen, and change your philosophy, change your mindset to now is the opportunity where I'm going to capture as much market share as I possibly can. So when we come out of this recession, I'm much higher up on the food chain inside of this industry. All right, so let's talk about application. What are the actual things that you should be doing during a recession from a business standpoint? All right, the very first thing after mindset, which is getting your mindset right, it's going to be continual practice. It's going to be a shitstorm. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's going to be fucking hard. Okay. But you got to continue to come back to that same mindset. All right. Second one is invest in knowledge and support. Invest in knowledge and support. So like I said, what was the first thing that I did when COVID happened? I purchased that Grant Cardone program, the where you actually got support from the man himself, Grant Cardone. I purchased that and I spent a good deal of money. And the reason I purchased that is because he created this program specifically around COVID support. It was literally called like a COVID support program. And I was like, fuck, I need this. I'm not going into this alone. I'm not doing this shit alone. Purchase, buy, what's the price? I don't care. I'm paying it because I would much rather have the knowledge of how to actually get through something like COVID or a recession. And I would also love to have the support. Tons of people in that program. Would love to hear from somebody who's been through multiple recessions in his life and hear his philosophy on how to get through them. But not just how to get through them, how to win in a recession and how to thrive. So I will probably do the same thing. I will probably pay for knowledge and support when this thing actually turns over. And I advise you do the same thing. I advise you do the same thing. You need the knowledge, what to do. You need the support to continue to have that mindset that we talked about before. And if you think that you're going to go in this alone, you're fucked. You're going to get wiped out. You likely, your business will regress. If not, and I say this not to get you triggered, but like your business will get wiped out. Like it will. Like you probably won't have a business if you decide, hey, I'm going to go into this alone. I'm not going to learn anything during this. I'm not going to have any support. Maybe you're not saying that subconsciously, but maybe your ego is getting in the way where you're just like, I don't need the support. I don't need the knowledge. You need it. And I'll say it again. You need it. Okay. And I'm not just saying this because I have NLCA and we offer knowledge and support. I'm saying this because you actually fucking need it. I don't even care if it's with NLCA. I don't even care if it's with my own company. Just go find somewhere where you can get knowledge and support during the economic time. I promise you, you will thank me later. Okay. So that's my next thing. All right. So you got to get the mindset right. You got to invest in knowledge and support. All right, the next thing you got to do is you got to go on the offensive. All right, like I talked about, a lot of companies are going to go on the defensive. They're going to spend less. They're going to cut budgets. They're going to let people go. They're going to reduce their marketing budget. They're going to do less activity, right? If they're going to have less people on their team, they're going to do less activity, less sales, less marketing, right? They're just going to do less innovation, less improving their program, less service on their clients. You got to go on the offensive. All right. So what does going on the offensive mean? Very first thing is got to go into sales mode. You got to become an absolute freak. You got to become an absolute maniac when it comes to sales. Okay. If you're a one person show, one woman, one man show, you got to go freaking crazy. All right. That means you got to, every single strategy you got to tap into. All right. You got to tap into outbound messaging. Okay. Maybe you got to tap into ads. All right. Maybe you got to create an email list, right? Maybe you got to create some partnerships for some affiliates, right? Maybe you got to post 2 times a day, right? You have to increase the activity that you're currently doing. If you're sending 10 DM messages a day, send 50. Right? If you're making 1 post a day, make 2. If you don't have an email list, make an email list. You're spending this on ads, double it, right? You got to do more activity during the time. You got to go on the offensive. All right. So the very first thing is you got to get into sales mode. You got to tell yourself, I am just going to become a freak at sales. I'm going to become really good at sales. Most of my day is going to be around sales, getting leads, closing deals, continuing to have the cash flow, continuing to make the business go. Because if you don't, and you forget about sales or ignore sales or say that you don't need to work on sales, that you need to work on other things during this time, you're not going to have the cash flow necessary to have enough cash flow to continue to spend into your business to actually grow and expand in the recession. All right. So without the money, there's no growth. There's no expansion inside of the recession. Okay. So sales always first, sales always first, sales always first. And that's not from a selfish reason. That's not from I need to make this sale so that I can pay myself. No, it's I need to make this sale so I can keep my fucking business alive. Because if you don't focus on sales during this time, you're not going to have a fucking business, which means that you can't do anything. You can't service any clients. Okay. Hopefully that drilled it in. But that needs to be your top activity. You need to make it utmost importance that you continue to have cash flow, because you're going to leverage that cash flow to expand into the marketplace during the recession while everybody is doing the opposite. Woo. Okay, so that's number one when I say go on offensive. All right, number two when I say go on offense is marketing. Okay, I'm going to talk about organic. All right, you once again, double the amount of posts that you are doing. If you were doing one post a day, maybe do a post a day and a story series a day. All right, or do a post on Instagram and a post on TikTok. Right, just do any two variations of social media content a day. All right, and it does, like I said, it doesn't even have to be, you know, 2 posts on Instagram. Like I said, it could be a post on Instagram, post on TikTok. It could be a post on Instagram, story series on Instagram as well. It could be a podcast and a post on Instagram. It could be a YouTube video and a podcast, right? Just 2 pieces of content every single day over the course of the recession. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3, I would consider doing something in paid advertising. Create a budget for it. Don't be an idiot and spend all your cash flow. Create a reasonable budget for where you are at, okay? And spend some money in marketing. Why? You guys have probably heard me say before that you shouldn't start ads until you have this, and this ready. And I do think that is true, but I think this is a unique circumstance because, like I said, this is a massive opportunity. This is an opportunity where you could really get your name out there when other people are not spending. And if a lot of people aren't spent, this is how Facebook and Instagram works. Facebook and Instagram works. It's a bidding system. Whoever pays the most for ads gets the most exposure. Whoever pays the least gets the least exposure. It's a bidding war. That's how ads work on Facebook and Instagram. So if everybody's pulling off their ad accounts, they're spending less on ads, that means that with a smaller budget, more people are going to see your ad, meaning it's going to be more effective, meaning you should have some skin in the game. Even if it's $1 a day, I don't give a shit. It's $1 a day that you weren't spending before to get attention. Okay. Even if you don't have like a very massive strategic ad strategy, I would prefer you to at least boost some posts. That's like the simplest ad strategy, but do something, all right? Have some form of an ad strategy, have some form of a budget. I'm not going to go too deep into ad strategies. I'll do a whole entire other podcast on that, but just know that you should have some skin in the game because Facebook, Instagram, it's a bidding war. Whoever spends the most gets the most exposure. There's going to be a lot of companies that don't spend anything, which means that for less money, you'll get more attention on these platforms if you pay for ads. Have some skin in the game. Okay. All right. The next thing that you should do is you should have a downsell and affordable payment plans. I'm just looking at the time, making sure that I have enough time here. Yeah, you should have a downsell and affordable payment plans. If you don't have a downsell, you should consider maybe offering, obviously you have your full coaching. Maybe a downsell for you is nutrition only. Maybe another downsell for you is biweekly coaching. Maybe another downsell for you is group coaching. I would recommend having 1 or 2 downsells just in case people cannot afford or are afraid to buy your full coaching. Still go for the full coaching, but as a last-ditch effort, make sure that you have some insurance for your sales process by having some downsells there, okay? Favorable payment plans, meaning do not be afraid. My typical advice is to get the most favorable the most favorable payment plan for the business. During an economic downturn, during a recession, I would say get the most favorable payment plan for the client. I'd rather you have the client than not have the client. I'd rather you have the cash flow than not have the cash flow. Okay, so what I mean by that is if you have to do weekly payments, do weekly payments. If you have to do biweekly payments, do biweekly payments. Monthly payments, do monthly payments. If you have to extend, if you say, hey, I know this is a 3-month contract, I'll give you 4 months to pay it off, fucking do it. Rather you have a client than not have a client. All right, the next one here, and this is very crucial and very important, is I know I've talked a lot about sales and marketing. Do not forget your current clients. Focus on your current clients and focus on your product, okay? These people are paying you monthly, and if you are not paying attention to them during the economic recession, during the economic downturn, what is the first thing that they're going to cancel? I don't need fitness coaching. Exit. Send an email. Oh, sorry, recession. I would like to cancel my contract. Focus on your fucking people. Make sure they have a great experience. I don't care, like throw everything out the window. If you are a business owner and you have assistant coaches, throw all that out the window, meaning, yeah, you should reach out to these clients one-to-one. How are you doing? How are things? Where's your mind at? How are you feeling? Are you stressed? Is there anything we could do to help you? Right? Give extra service. Give a crap ton of extra service. Make your community and make your support system something that they need during an economic recession, during an economic downturn, not something that they choose to get rid of. I had my fitness business in 2020. I had my fitness business in 2020. I don't think we lost all but one client, maybe one client. I can't remember. It's either we lost one client or no clients during COVID. The reason being is we stepped up our service a lot. Extra reach outs. I reached out. Extra inside of our community because people couldn't go to the gyms. We would do daily workouts. We'd pop on Zoom, right? Just extra, everything extra to make sure that they had a great experience and that this was a support community that they needed to be a part of, opposed to something that they say, I don't need this. Cancel this. We need to save the money. Okay. Focus on your clients, focus on your product. How can you get innovative to create new things in your product that are relevant to the specific time? Give you an example. During COVID, like I said, we would get our clients on Zoom calls and I would lead them through a workout, or one of our assistant coaches would lead them through a workout. That was very unique for COVID because a lot of gyms shut down. What are unique things that you could do for the current crisis, a recession, that would help out your clients? And I'm not saying from a payment standpoint, I'm saying help them out from a service standpoint. Okay, the next one that I have here is you should for sure get information on how to use PayPal credit. You should for sure look into finance companies. We have a financing company. It's called SweetPay. Basically, how this works is on our sales call, if somebody can't afford our package, we, right on the call, it takes a few minutes, can have them apply for SweetPay, and SweetPay, the company that we're affiliated with, this isn't like PayPal credit where anyone could do it. Like the company would have to affiliate with SweetPay in order to have access to their platform. But once you're affiliated, you're on a sales call, somebody says no, but they want to go through a loan process. That loan process takes 2 to 4 minutes. They'll get instant approval or denial. They'll either get an extended payment plan, meaning they could take the amount that they owe you and extend it out over a certain period of time, or they'll give them the full loan. So they'll just give them the full amount up front. And once again, they'll pay back the company over a certain period of time. Definitely something you should have in your corner during an economic downturn. People are going to leverage credit. People that are smart and they want to grow and expand, they will leverage credit to do it. And then PayPal credit is something that you should be using in your sales process during this time as well. All right, last little tidbit I'll give you is exactly going off of this whole credit talk. You yourself should leverage credit for knowledge and support. It's something that we're going to use. We're going to leverage credit for marketing. We're going to leverage credit for knowledge and support. Now, caveat to that, make sure that you have the cash flow. We pay off our credit card, our business credit cards. I pay off my personal credit cards in full every month. So just make sure that you have the cash flow to do that. Like, don't overextend yourself. I'm aggressive, but not stupid. So be conservative from that front. Don't overextend yourself. Make sure that you have the cash flow to be able to pay this off over time, meaning your business has the cash flow, but you should definitely leverage credit during that time. And I would say the things you should leverage credit for are marketing, and what was the other one? Knowledge and support. All right, y'all. That is all for the time that I have today. I got to hop on another call, but hopefully you guys found this valuable. Deep breath. It's coming. You're going to be okay. This is your opportunity to grow. This is your opportunity. Recessions only come, I'd say, once a decade, probably. So this is your opportunity. You won't have another opportunity like this for probably 10 years.